Hello, and a very warm welcome to Cultural Communication Confidence with me, Victoria Reynoldson, and a very warm welcome to this incredibly special episode. This is episode number 100 of the show. We have been recording this podcast for 2 years now. This is the 100th episode, and it has been my mission to bring you the best of strategies, ideas, frameworks, tools for you to learn all about communicating when you're working in a global context, cultural intelligence strategies for doing well, collaborating, and building trust in global teams, and how to have a global mindset. In the early days, it was just me sharing these episodes. More recently, there's been a real blend of solo episodes and also guests coming on the show because I want you to bring you the best of global perspectives around these topics. So thank you for listening. Thank you so much for supporting this show. It really does mean a lot to me. And I really hope that you'll continue to enjoy this podcast. Now, as part of these celebrations, I have been creating a mini series all around how to become a global leader. And this is episode 3 of this mini series. We started off with understanding and sharing your unique value to get more visible. We then talked about how to speak so people lean in, talking confidently and boldly. And today we're talking about owning the room, speaking so people feel your presence. Now, this third topic I think is particularly interesting. I know for some of you listening to this might feel a little bit intangible. How do you cultivate presence? It feels like sometimes that there are some people who are just born with it, it's part of their personality. And for others, they just don't have it. It's also a really hard thing to describe. It's often seen as things like charisma or gravitas. And it's one of those things that you might just say, well, you either have it or you don't. Well, I have a very strong belief that everybody can cultivate their own version of leadership presence. And it does very much matter. It's the feeling you leave people when you're inside the room, but also the way people think about you when you're not there, when you're outside of the room. Your leadership presence is also about how you project yourself, how people see you. That really connects them to where you're at in your career. And it certainly can open up professional opportunities and career progression. So it really, really does matter. But if you're in a place today where you're feeling like you don't have this presence, that you don't really own the room when you're speaking, how can you do this? Well, the challenge really is understanding that there is no one way of doing this. Maybe you feel like you see people who talk a lot or dominate the conversation and feel like they've got leadership presence. Maybe today you feel like actually you do speak up and you've got important things to say, but you're not always fully acknowledged. People don't always fully listen to you and your opinions. Perhaps you just can't put your finger on it, but you know you don't come across in that way today. Well, I want to give you a reframe around this idea of owning the room, of having presence that people feel. And that reframe is that there is no one way of doing this. There is, of course, people out there who seem to exude it, to project it naturally. But the reality is, the most powerful way for you to up your presence, for people to feel your presence in the room, is to be more of yourself, to be true to yourself, to understand what is uniquely you, and then turn up the volume on that. It comes back to understanding your unique value, which was a theme from the first episode in this mini series, and I'll put links to those previous episodes in the show notes. It's understanding what you uniquely bring, which is different from everybody else, not only in your team or in your organization, but in fact in this whole world, how you do things differently. And if you can define that, if you can understand where you are great and what you do, which is so special, if you just turn up the volume on that slightly, amplify that. And by the way, I don't mean by being louder, but absolutely projecting that out further, then you will find that people will feel that presence, that they will recognize it as you, not you pretending to be somebody else or pretending to be somebody you see in the organization who you think has it, but they experience you in your uniqueness, your unique leadership presence. So it starts with that. It starts with that reframe. But focusing on from that, I want you to really think about how you show up in the room. And there are a couple of particular areas that I want you to pay attention to. The first one of these is to be super present in your meetings. It's quite difficult for you to have presence and for people to feel you if you are distracted, if you're thinking about something else that's happening inside the room or outside the room, if you're stressed or your emotions are getting in the way because of what's happening. So what you need to do is to be fully focused and full of attention on the moment here and now. I want you in that meeting to, if you find that difficult, for example, breathe deeply. Put your feet flat on the floor and feel that connection to the ground underneath you. Put your hands on the table in front of you and feel that connection as well. This is about bringing you really into the moment because your presence is connected with you being fully present as well. So start from there. From there, I want you to align your energy. Now, this is something which I think is fairly new to my work, but I really believe in the way of understanding how you bring that energy into the room. So consider it. What is it that you want to be seen as? What do you want people to feel when they think of you or when they see you in the room? What is that energy? Maybe it is for you that you want people to feel that quite serious gravitas, formal, professional energy. For others, maybe you want to be seen as this real down to earth, connected conversationalist where you're really open and really human in the way that you connect with people. For others of you, maybe that energy is much more about high beat and being really high energy and full of ideas. You will know yourself what your energy is. And I again come back to this idea of amplifying it. You know how you want people to feel. So take that energy and think about projecting it. But the second part of this is that it's not just about what you project, it's about how it's received. So, a really great exercise with this is I want you to visualize you in the room. So, if it helps, you can close your eyes at this moment, as long as you're not driving or doing anything dangerous like that. But if you're in a space where you can close your eyes, just really visualize what does it look like in your mind when you imagine you at your fullest, amplifying this presence, this energy that you want to bring. How are the other people in the room receiving that? What are they doing in reaction to that? Are they nodding? Are they smiling? Are they leaning into you? How are they showing that they're reacting to that presence that you're projecting? I want you to visualize that and then turn up the volume on that idea and on that feeling, because this idea of aligning your energy is about what you project and how it's received to create that connection. Next, it's space. I want you to think about the space that you're taking up. It's a well-known fact that the more space that you take up, the more visible you are, the more comfortable and confident you seem. And in fact, this goes back to ancient human history when if we were threatened, we would take up more space to see off anybody else. And it's true today. The more space that we take up, the more visible and felt and experienced we are. The less space we take, we're seen as more passive or recessive. So consider how you are sitting. Are you crossing your arms and your legs? If that's natural, great, but just consider about how you could literally take up a few more centimeters of space. Where are your hands and your arms? Are your feet pointing forwards if your feet are visible? All of these signals are about taking up more space, feeling more confident and more powerful. And this again is an important part of presence. From space, I want you to consider how you signal your communication. So particularly if this is challenging for you today, and perhaps it is an element where you do feel people don't always fully listen to you or pay attention to you, consider how you could signal more that you want to come into a conversation, that you're leaning in and wanting to insert yourself into the discussion. This can be quite important if this is challenging for you today, and there are many ways that you can do this. Clearly, in a virtual meeting, we have tools like emojis and signals to show that we are wanting to say something. But even in the physical space, in face to face, I think it's quite important to have presence through how you insert yourself into the conversation. And the way that I describe it is imagine a car that is driving along a road, and that car is in the central lane but wants to move to the left. To do that, you would signal. You would put the signal on and the indicator would show that you're going to turn left, move to the left side. It's the same in the conversation. You can signal that you are wanting to come into the conversation, and you can do that in a number of ways. You can physically lean forward into the conversation. You can audibly take a breath, which sounds like you're about to speak. And if you do it clearly enough, then others around you will turn around and see what it is that you want to say. So think about that signaling to help you have that presence so people pay more attention to you. Presence isn't just what you say, it's also how you listen and how you connect with others. So the final element of this that I want to share with you here and now is that your presence will be felt and experienced when people are felt like you're listening to them. So you give them that space to hear their points of views, to ask questions and hear what they have to say, their answers on that. And you take that time and space to get to know them, to ask personal questions and find out more about what's important to them and what motivates them personally. When you take that care and attention and create those little moments and minutes of joy and connection, then that can really help people to feel you at different levels within the organization. So there we have it, a few ideas for you to take away here today. I think the most important one that I want you to remember is that there is no one way of doing presence and owning a room. It is absolutely understanding who you are and your unique value and then amplifying that out, about turning that up in a way that is true to you rather than pretending to be somebody else. Now, this may matter to you if you want to become a global leader. And if that is the case, then I have a brand new training, which is happening actually this week. This is a free experience which I'm offering to ambitious global professionals who are very serious about making it to the next level in their career, their next promotion in the next 6 months. This is for you if you want to take action now rather than wait till 2025. And I'm going to be sharing with you in a 3-day experience, 1 hour per day, what I consider the 3 steps you need to becoming a global leader, including elevating your personal brand, speaking confidently and boldly, and how to develop your authority and presence in a lot more detail, and that you can actually take away some real clear actions to help you with that. I would love for you to join me, and this, as I say, is totally free to you. All you need to do to reserve your space is head over to www.culturecuppa.com/become-leader, and you can sign up and reserve your seat now. But don't forget, this experience is happening this week, so please come and join me. This is all part of the celebration for the number 100 podcast. Thank you again for supporting me along this journey, whether this is the first episode you've ever listened to, or whether you've been with me from the beginning and you've listened to every single one of these 100 episodes. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Cultural Communication Confidence.